This quite literally might be the best first stop at a Goodwill we've ever had before. Interesting, this glass plate has some numbering. It says 64. Is that Z64 maybe? It's $3.99. I don't see any chips. We're gonna get that. We're gonna try to figure out who made this. Ever since our fire and light here at this location, we've been apparently on a glass kick here.
That thing looks beefy.
It's very heavy. Can you tell I'm struggling to hold it?
Tell.
It's $24.99. They must have heard I found fire and light here.
Here's another beefy piece.
That one's heavy duty, $14.99. Okay, this one's Indiana glass, and I found one for only about $25 online. So this one's gonna go back. Beautiful bowl though. We're gonna pass on that giant heavy one, but we are gonna get this pretty plate. Should we have a mask party? Oh, you can't see out of this though. There's no eye holes. That wouldn't work. That'd be a fun DIY for someone. It's $19.99. It looks like it actually came from a vintage store because it has a tag on it for $38. Definitely could be fun if somebody came and fixed it up. Here's a beautiful Lenox bowl, $19.99. What?
You know how I love flip clocks,
Yeah.
right? This is like a new production.
Oh, it looks vintage.
But I just love flip clocks. I'm gonna get it.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's only $10, and
love
I just
it.
like the vintage look of flip clocks.
Look what we found for $1.99. A dollar horse. Not a dollar, $2 for the dollar horse. These are fun Mikasa set, and there is a set of $4.99 for the 2-piece set. That's a pretty great set. So it'd be $20 for all of them. What do we think? Should I do it?
Cherry pie was on speed dial.
That's
Somebody
hilarious.
had cherry pie on speed dial.
I think I just scored on some coats here. I just found 2 coats. They kind of caught my attention. I saw the plaid, $14.99. And then there was also this passenger made to roam jacket, and it looks like it's in perfect condition. Not bad for our first stop.
We have a very visually appealing haul.
You'd call this one of our more visually appealing hauls.
You know what I feel like we've just accomplished here? This
What?
is like cool dorm room vibes.
I love it. We've been having the best luck on vintage glass lately. I thought this was really pretty. It was only $3.99, and it's signed on the back 64, and I think it's the letter Z. So I think it's handmade, and I definitely think it was worth more than $3.99.
1964 Zorro.
As we were getting ready to check out, I had a few last minute spots on the coat rack. This is a very well-made tweed jacket. So they're called field coats. For this brand, they sell online new for over $300 US. I like your little clock.
I love little flip clocks. I don't know what the real term is. I just call them flip clocks. I love that vintage style with it. It's like a Target brand or something like that. It's not some valuable, expensive piece. I think aesthetically, it looks cool, and you can mix it in with a lot of other mid-century items.
I think it's gonna go great with our stuff we have and our style at home. This is not something we find very often at Goodwills. Usually when we pick these up, it's at flea markets or estate sales.
If anyone walks in there and there's like a reseller, they grab that for $1.99.
This one is the real deal, made in Sweden. That's awesome. Nice, $1.99. A beautiful studio pottery bowl. I love the colors on this one. This one was $2.99. Sadly, it was all by itself. I was hoping that I was gonna find more of them. Sometimes I find an entire set like this. Aren't these cheery though? No chips, no cracks, and they just have such good classic design to them. Everybody should be cheery when they're having their morning cup of coffee, I think. Oops, they had no chips or cracks in them.
I don't think you're cheery until you have your coffee.
Me specifically or just in general?
The general, me.
Oh,
Charmer boys.
little drummer dudes. I had to see what it was because of these little shoes.
Here's some of these little wooden links, but I don't know if these are vintage or not. $6.99. I'm gonna pass. It's got the original sticker down there on it. $9.99. Yeah, baby. What a good day thrifting. What a haul. For only having time to go to 2 Goodwills today, we scored. This is such a good quality coat. So here's the little signature you look for. There's a little bunny rabbit right there. And then let me show you the inside tag. They have several different tags to look for. I think this is maybe a newer one because looking online, they have quite a few different tags. So this might be a current one. But it was only $14.99 and they sell for so much brand new online. This one is a women's size small and I'm gonna get it cleaned up and then it will be coming to our first Friday sale. I can't believe we found this at Goodwill after all of these years. This has always been one of my very favorite wine racks from the mid-century era. This one's made by Custom Craft and we got it at Goodwill for $9.99. I can't believe it. I seriously can't believe it. I love this plate. I'm so glad that I ended up getting it because for a second I was on the fence just because I don't do a ton of glass. But it was only $3.99 and it's signed and dated. It says 64 and I can't tell if that's a Z or if it's supposed to go that way and maybe be an N. Are any of you familiar with this signature? And then Jesse got his cool flip clock. We got a dollar horse. I got 2 lampshades. Neither of them are vintage, but I liked the shapes on them and the material, and they were a really good price. The larger one was only $4.99, and honestly, Goodwill has been pricing some of these lampshades at $10 to $15 each. So when I find one for $5 and under and it's in good condition, I usually pick it up now. A nice studio pottery bowl, and then this down passenger to Rome jacket, and this was $14.99. And again, these sell online for over $100. I knew we had a couple of the orange dollar horses in our personal collection, but look, now we have a full set. I can't believe it. It's so similar. It's not exact, but it's so similar in color. I'm so funny. I looked on another shelf when I went to go put away the other ones, and I actually did have the larger one too. But that's okay because now I just have a whole family. Not too bad for only 2 quick stops. Now we're gonna get this home and I'm gonna get this wood oiled up because we've got to decide if this is gonna stay in our home or if we are going to resell it. Welcome to the kitchen. I wish we were doing a cooking show right now because you know, I've talked about this in the past. I've dreamed about doing a cooking show forever, but I don't have time for a cooking show.
How about a wood oiling show? An hour every week just oiling wood?
A chit chat with Laura and Jesse while we wood oil. Well, that's what we're gonna do for today. So we're gonna show you how some of these pieces completely transform as soon as they are not thirsty and they get oiled up. So this is my absolute favorite wood oil. It's Conrad's Wood Food Oil. It's 100% natural, non-toxic. I love this stuff. It does change the color of the wood, as you will see once we get wood oiling it, but I think that it really enhances the natural wood grain.
It's gonna be so rich, it's gonna be ballin'.
I'm the most excited to get this wood oiled up and then our piece from the world's largest garage sale.
Pretty thirsty,
That's very thirsty.
so it needs to be hydrated quickly.
This is also Jesse's first time doing this. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some paper towels. You can use a rag if you've got that on hand too. And we're going to lightly dust everything off because as you know, when you pick up something from a flea market or an estate sale or the back of a barn when you're picking at someone's house, sometimes they can be really dirty and you don't wanna kind of just rub that into the wood's finish. Most of these pieces are just lightly dusty, so we're gonna go ahead and just do a quick dusting on them. If you do need to do a deep clean though, I definitely recommend that.
Would you have to wait for it to dry to put the oil on?
Yes. Every time I've ever wood oiled a piece after washing it, I did wait about 24 hours for the wood to dry all the way before I put the oil on it. See, this one's not even too dusty. There's not really much on there. Sometimes you'll get a piece though, you pull this out and you're just like, oof, might need a couple wipes. It's definitely worth dusting. I'm so excited about this cutting board. And I'm even gonna be wood oiling the wood on this enamel clock. Now, I don't use any gloves when I use this product because it's food safe, it's made out of plants and seeds, it's 100% non-toxic oil. So you don't have to wear gloves. Now, if you don't like the texture of oil on your hands, I recommend wearing gloves. I personally don't mind it, and I like to sometimes actually rub it in with my hands. You just have to be careful not to get a splinter if you do that. You don't want to do that on a rough wood. See how quickly that's absorbing? Do you see that just disappearing? Oh man, we gotta get a camera. We gotta show you what we're witnessing here. So this is not that common. You'll see probably on the rosewood, which is a lot denser of a wood, that it's not gonna do this, but this is how thirsty this is. That's just soaking into the wood. It's really enhancing it and making it richer. So here's an example of the rosewood, and it's probably gonna just sit much more on the surface in this situation, but wow, is that popping that wood grain. So this is why I love wood oil so much, because it really enhances the natural grain of the wood.
I didn't really let you show me.
You don't need it. You don't need
Okay.
help. This is so easy. Nobody needs to be trained.
I figured you just put it on and then wipe it off, yeah?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Now you do wait 24 hours. So you put it on, and if it's really thirsty like this one, I'll put a couple coats on till it kind of stops sucking it in. And then as soon as it's kind of sitting there on the surface for a little bit, you let it sit for 24 hours and then you wipe off all of the excess.
Boom!
It looks so pretty.
Felt like emerald. Bam!
I still cannot believe that we found that at Goodwill after we passed it up in Longview. Somebody said that this might actually be a Scandinavian spoon, and I heard two different comments on what they think it was used for. One was for the water for in a sauna, which made me really excited because it brought back memories of doing the sauna in Norway. And then the other comment said that it would go with a soup pot. And the reason that this side is flat is so that it can hang up against the wall.
In about 50 minutes, we have a ride picking us up to go to catch our Scotland flight for
Yeah.
our group trip.
We're so excited. We're wood oiling in our kitchen
In the last
before we go to
moments.
Scotland.
Yeah, we are.
This is how we roll sometimes. Last minute, you know what?
We're
We're
rolling.
entrepreneurs and the work never stops, even when you're headed out the door for a flight. Normally, I would saturate everything really good, leave it for 24 hours, and then really come in and buff it off good. But since we got a flight to catch, we're just gonna go ahead and let it sit for a little bit and then dry it all off so we can show you how it transforms. The majority of the oil will go ahead and get in there in that quick time period, and it will look immensely better. But if you wanna do it the proper way and the way that I typically do things before I sell them, you wanna let it sit and really soak in and maybe even do a couple coats. You'll know when it's not thirsty anymore because the oil will just sit on the surface. Every wood is a little bit different. So a denser, darker wood like ebony is hardly gonna absorb anything. Same for ironwood, but some of the less dense woods will absorb a lot. This one did not look good on the shelf at Goodwill, but I knew it had so much potential. So I'm really excited to see how this one turns out.
Before, after.
Here is the before.
It definitely has some damage on here, but I think I can get that cleaned up.
I feel like the light's kind of making it look better than it is. See all these little spots like this? These are rough spots.
You're doing pretty well here.
Yeah? I'm so glad we picked that up. Didn't we only pay $10 for that?
Yeah, it was
That's insane.
quite the steal. Stay tuned for the new channel, Oiling.
By Laura and Jesse.
Yeah, just oiling.
We are headed off. We've got an Uber coming in just a couple minutes. We've got our luggage by the door. We're in our airport fits, and we are so excited to go and hang out with 25 of you in Scotland. This is going to be such a great group trip.
I'm excited. I should probably go pack though.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and we will see you in a brand new episode very soon. Coming up next week, we are sharing our adventures in Scotland. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss when this episode goes live. You've probably heard about our very exciting news that we are hosting a river cruise in August 2027. But the latest update is that this trip is going live for booking Sunday, May 17th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. All of the details, including pricing and the full itinerary, are up on our website, leftcoastrevivals.com. So head over there to check out all of the details. But don't forget to set your alarm for this Sunday, May 17th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. We can't wait to travel the Rhine with you next year.
This place is going to be so fun with 150 like-minded people here for the same reason.